everyone! So after I built my PC and finished the build video on it, I thought it would be helpful if I created a tutorial on how to make and edit videos using Blender. I hope you find this useful as a quick and easy way to get started using Blender. Okay, let's open up Blender. You'll be greeted with this splash screen, and underneath New File, let's select the video editing option. As you can see, there's the sequencer on the bottom, which is where you're going to edit your video, and there's the preview at the top, which is what your video will look like. And in the right-hand side, you can see the output settings underneath Scene. So I've set the resolution to 1920 pixels and 1080 pixels. That works well, and the quality to 100%. Down here, I've set the file to where it's going to output to once it's done rendering to my video folder, and set this file format to FFmpeg video. I've also set this to RGB because we don't want a black and white video. And underneath encoding, and I set the container to MPEG-4 and haven't touched any of this because this all works well. Underneath audio and audio codec, I've set this to AAC and left everything untouched. Now, to save this as the default way it's going to show up in Blender when you access a new video editing file, we go up here to File, Defaults, Save Startup File, so that whenever you make a new video editing file, this automatically pops up. Next, we want to add a video and audio strip. So up here, select, so to add it in, we select up here in the kind of gray bar to the first frame. So just click and drag it all the way to the left until it stops moving. Then in File, in Explorer, I've selected my video. So just drag it into Blender, and it'll automatically move it into Blender. But as you can see, the video is way too short for it since the video and audio go way out here and the video only shows this much. So in order to move that, we can go down here into End. So we can look at what frame the video and audio ends at, which is 1203. Down here in End, which this specifies where the video is going to end at, you can set the frame, just select it and type in 1203. And now it'll end where the video ends. Now, as you can see when we play it by pressing spacebar, I don't start talking for a solid second or two. So, to kind of trim that piece off, we can select where I start talking by moving the playback cursor by just dragging your mouse to where I start talking. Then you can select the beginning of the video strip, shift select the beginning of the audio strip, and then just click and drag that to where you want it to begin. If you find it hard to put it to an exact place, just press Shift. It'll make it a lot easier. Just let go to finalize where you want your file, where you want it to start. And now let's see. Hi everyone. I immediately start talking. So to move this back to the start of the video, I can just hold and drag this to make a box, and box select these two. Then I can hold and drag this to the left until this meets frame 1. Now we can add, if we want to add new strips, we can first align our playback cursor since that's where it's going to add it to. I've also selected out a video, so this one right here. Just drag it into Blender. As you can see, we again need to extend this. So instead of typing in the exact frame this time, you can just hold and drag it to the right to extend it. You can hold and drag the end slider to the right to extend it. Again, you can also press shift to make it more precise, but I find this fine. So then we can drag this down so that it's in the same channel. And so that we have the audio and video strips right after the end of the first ones. We can just hold and drag them until you see the red bars. Just release and it'll automatically align them. Now let's see how they switch of hardware in this machine. As you can see, it was very hard and jagged, and to make it more smooth, we can add fades. So select the video strip and move your playback cursor to where you want the fade to begin. And then right click, and underneath fade, you can press from current frame. And then on the other side, you can select this audio strip, right click, fade to current frame. So then it would have a fade out and a fade in. Now let's see how this looks. We're in this machine. As you can see, that looks a lot more professional and a lot nicer. But when it's fading out, it'll fade out into these weird gray transition boxes. And in order to make it a solid color, we can select these things by just using a box select. Drag them up a channel so that we can make space for a color, and then we can go up here to add, or the shortcut is Shift A. Add a color. It'll automatically set it to black, which is what we want. We can select these and drag them to the beginning of our video. Then it'll run to the length of the video. So just drag it, and then now, as you can see in this machine, it'll fade into black, which looks a lot nicer. Now what we can do is at the end here, we can add text. And in order to fit one, we need to drag this out. So just drag the end of the video out. So just select this and drag it to the right to expand. And then go up here to add, or Shift A, text this time. Now we can just select the text and drag it way over to where we want it. And once we do that, we can extend it to the end of our video by just selecting it and dragging it. And now, as you can see, if we put our cursor there, there will be a text. So we can say, let's say, thanks for watching, exclamation mark. So now it'll say thanks for watching, exclamation mark. To increase the size, we can just drag the size option to the right, and it's much bigger. We can change the color, so now it's red ish, and and the background is currently transparent. We don't want that, so let's drag the end of the black to the current end of the video. And we can change the wrap width of the text, so then it would go into 2 lines instead of 1 or more. And we can change the location of the text, or we can just type in direct numbers. So I'll just put it to the middle. Let's see how this looks per second, and a 20 megabyte cache. Again, we have that jagged sort of transition, which we do not want. So we can also add fades to text. So first, let's add a fade to the video strip. So right click, fade from current frame, and then select the text, right click, fade to current frame. Now and let's add a fade out. So right click, fade from current frame. Now let's see how this looks. 20 megabyte cache. That looks much nicer. So once you are done with editing your video, you can go. Now the next step is to render the video. So in order to do that, we can go up here to this render tab and then click render animation. This will render the video. It'll take a while, so be patient. Now, as you can see, the frames have stopped counting upwards, so you know that this animation, this video, is finished. Now, once it's finished, it'll automatically output the video to your specified video output folder. So I'll go into captures, and as you can see, it's right here. Let's watch it and see. Hi everyone. So a while back, I got interested in game development and 3D modeling with Unity and Blender, but my current machine, a new PC, an AMD Ryzen 7. Let me walk you through the many pieces of hardware in this machine. This is an AMD Ryzen 7 5700G max boost clock speed of 4 and a 20 megabyte cache. I think that looked really nice, and the fades were also really nice. The text came up right, and yeah. And that's it. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, although Blender is a very powerful tool with things like 3D animation, 2D animation, 3D modeling, and VFX, all in addition to video editing. And I hope to bring to you some of these powerful features in future videos. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!